We need to live. Not because we chose to, not because we agreed to anything. Life happens by imposition. Breathing comes before consent. The heart beats without consulting your beliefs. Cells divide without asking what you think about existence. And only after that does everything else arrive. Survival, continuation, maintenance. We need to eat. We need to pay. We need to justify why we are still here, occupying space, consuming resources, demanding attention. We need money, time, health, energy, and the illusion that tomorrow will somehow be manageable. We keep going, even when we don't know exactly why. And deep down, everyone knows this part, even if they avoid saying it out loud. This won't last. No matter how much we plan, no matter how carefully we build identities, careers, relationships, and meanings. After a few decades, everything collapses into silence. What we call me shuts off. Not dramatically, not poetically, just off, like deep sleep without dreams. No memory, no continuity, no observer left to comment on the ending. There is no epilogue, no elegant closure, no final understanding, just termination. But between now and that total erasure, there is something worse than death. There is the path toward it. There is pain. Not only the obvious pain of disease, accidents, and a body slowly betraying itself, but the quieter, more corrosive pain. The kind that doesn't scream, but never leaves. The pain of failing those who depend on you. The pain of realizing you are not enough, and never will be. The pain of carrying responsibilities you never asked for, but cannot abandon without guilt. And there is an even crueler layer of suffering. Suffering because others suffer, because we are sensitive, because we can imagine, because we can feel pain that isn't even ours. The body reacts anyway. Adrenaline spikes, the stomach tightens, the chest feels heavy. Nothing has happened, and yet, everything has happened inside the mind. So the inevitable question appears, what do we do with this? If we look honestly at the world, without optimism as anesthesia, one thing becomes clear. These problems will not be solved. There is no definitive cure. No technology that will make us immortal in any meaningful sense. No medical advancement that will free consciousness from suffering. No future where humans become consistently kind, rational, and self-aware. War will not end. Prejudice will not disappear. Violence is not a system error. It is part of the system. There is no drug, method, or technique that makes us immune to pain. There is no biological escape hatch. And that's when a dangerous idea appears. Maybe there is another way. Maybe if the world cannot be fixed, the solution must be internal. Maybe there is a mental state, a spiritual discipline, a level of awareness where none of this hurts anymore. So the search begins. Spiritual teachers, therapists, sacred texts, philosophies, methods, promises. The question is always the same. How do I stop being this unbearable chaos inside? And this is where the trap closes. The desire to stop trembling is the trembling itself. The attempt to escape anguish is anguish in motion. The impulse to fix yourself is exactly what is broken. What you hate in yourself stays alive because you are trying to kill it. This is hard to accept because it dismantles the entire idea of inner progress. So the desperate question arises. If that's true, what do I do? The answer is brutal. Nothing. If you are this chaos, this fear, this contradiction, there is no separate you capable of transforming it into something pure, enlightened, or divine. The idealized mystic, the saint, the awakened being, are fantasies created by fear trying to escape itself. All ideals are masks, elegant attempts by desperation to look noble. You are trapped in an impossible equation. I must be different from what I am, but everything I do to change comes from exactly what I am. Look at the simplest example. I shouldn't be selfish. But the desire not to be selfish comes from the ego. You want to be better so you can admire yourself more, so you can feel worthy, so you can be saved. Even love for God, when examined closely, is interest, protection, spiritual insurance. I'll love God because it's safer to be on the stronger side, because I want my soul guaranteed, because I am afraid. The great saints knew this. Paul knew it. Augustine knew it. Luther knew it. And none of them knew what to do with that knowledge, because there is nothing to do. And yet, something still happens. When you look deeply inward, without spiritual makeup, you realize there is no agent there, no control center, no separate self-commanding thoughts, emotions, or desires. This is our real condition. This is the actual starting point. We can only be what we are, feel what we feel now, think what we think now. We are this sensitive, vulnerable, terrified chaos, capable of imagining every horror life might impose. And this feels like a dead end. It looks like one. But it isn't. A dead end teaches something. It shows where not to go. Look at water. It spreads. It tests paths. It creates branches. Some stop, others continue. Water does not insist where there is no passage. It does not shame itself. It does not call itself a failure. It accumulates, waits, and finds another route. Without effort, without drama, without identity. It doesn't use force. It uses weight, gravity, acceptance of terrain. We do the same, but we feel ashamed of it. When we reach a limit, we think, I failed. If water thought like that, we would say it was sick. Life works the same way inside you. When you realize there is no way to become this fearless, enlightened, complete being, it isn't a message of despair. It's vital information. It's life saying, not this way. And the deeper message is this. The you who imagines transformation was never there. The ego is an idea, a narrative, a useful fiction. There is no commander behind thoughts, no operator controlling emotions. Everything happens. And when this is truly seen, not intellectually understood, but felt in the body, something relaxes. Not because life gets better, not because pain disappears, but because the conflict ends. And that changes everything. After all hope of control collapses, something uncomfortable remains. Naked clarity, not the beautiful clarity sold in books, but the kind that offers no meaning, no reward, no organization of chaos. This is where most people turn back. Because realizing there is no salvation does not bring immediate relief. It brings silence. And silence is unbearable for a mind addicted to narratives. The mind needs a story, even a false one, even a painful one, as long as it explains. That's why we create spiritual, moral, and psychological explanations. This happened to teach me something. Everything has a purpose. I had to go through this to grow. Look closely. These phrases do not describe reality. They anesthetize the shock that nothing guarantees meaning. The most uncomfortable truth is simple. Life is not concerned with you. It is not cruel. It is not just. It is indifferent. Suffering does not happen to build character. Loss does not come to strengthen anyone. Pain does not carry an embedded lesson. It simply happens. And when this is seen without romanticism, a deeper sadness appears. Not dramatic sadness, but the quiet sadness of understanding. There is no hidden plan, no benevolent intelligence managing events. If something sacred exists, it does not manifest as care. If there is a God, He does not run the world like a father. Maybe He doesn't run anything at all. Maybe the sacred is chaos itself. Blind flow, happening without intention. And this dismantles the ego's last attempt at salvation. The idea that suffering is worth it. It isn't. It never was. Life owes you nothing. It does not compensate losses. It does not return what it takes. This realization does not produce endless revolt. It produces exhaustion, a fatigue deeper than anger, deeper than sadness, a weariness of fighting what is. And at that point, something strange happens. When all resistance falls, when there is no redemption project left, a dry clarity emerges. You stop demanding from life what it never promised. There is no internal negotiation anymore. No bargaining with the universe. No, if I do this, then that. Only being here, exposed, without guarantees. Real spirituality begins there, not in ecstasy, not in light, but in resignation. Not resignation from living, but from justifying life. It is a dry state, arid, without emotional comfort, but honest. And this honesty changes your relationship with suffering. It doesn't disappear, but it stops being personal. Pain is no longer interpreted as spiritual failure, or punishment, or a test. It becomes what it always was: sensation. And when the mind stops creating stories around it, half the weight drops. The other half remains, because the body still feels, because loss still hurts, because death still arrives. But now there is no illusion of control, and paradoxically, this frees energy. You don't become better, you don't become stronger, you don't become enlightened, you become simple. And this simplicity is brutal. You stop demanding people be different. You stop expecting constant maturity, awareness, or goodness. You see humans as they are, reactive, confused, contradictory, including yourself. There is no purification project left, no final overcoming. Life stops being a problem to solve and becomes an event to pass through. This does not bring happiness, it brings sobriety. And sobriety is rare. It is the ability to look at the abyss without filling it with artificial hope. The silent courage to continue, not because it makes sense, but because there is no alternative. Breathing happens. The day passes. The body responds. And in this minimal functioning, stripped of heroism, there is a strange form of peace. Not a happy peace. A peace without internal conflict. You didn't defeat life. Life didn't defeat you. The game simply lost importance. And maybe that is what it means not to take life so seriously. Not taking life seriously is not contempt. It is not cynicism. It is not escape. It is consequence. It is what happens when you see too much to keep believing the way you did before. When you realize the gravity with which you hold everything does not change anything. The world does not respond to your internal effort. Existence does not negotiate. We take life seriously because we believe it expects something from us. That there is a right way to live, a correct way to feel, think, react. This is a basic misreading of reality. Life does not demand performance. It does not charge coherence. It does not ask for emotional maturity. It simply happens, passes through, consumes, and moves on. The more seriously we take it, the more weight we place on something already heavy by nature. We create too much importance around small decisions, too much guilt around inevitable failures, too much identity around temporary stories. We take life seriously because we confuse survival with meaning, because we believe suffering must justify something, because we think every fall must produce growth. Most things produce nothing. They just pass. Not taking life so seriously means stopping treating every thought as truth, every emotion as a verdict, every mistake as a sentence. It means understanding the mind dramatizes by habit, not accuracy. That fear exaggerates because it was built to protect, not to understand. That anxiety speaks loudly but sees little. When you let go of the idea that you must be right, resolved, or whole, something slows down. You notice no one really knows what they are doing. Everyone improvises with what they have. Even those who look confident are just repeating patterns with more conviction. Not taking life so seriously as accepting control was always partial. Identity always unstable. The self never as solid as it seemed. It is stopping the fight with the flow for not matching expectations. Stopping the demand for meaning where there is only movement. Stopping the request for guarantees from something that never promised anything. This does not eliminate suffering, but it removes the excess conflict layered on top of it. You still feel, still lose, still fail. But without the moral interpretation, without the need to turn everything into a lesson, without the burden of having to become someone better from every wound. Not taking life so seriously is allowing yourself to be human without a project, to exist without a heroic narrative, to breathe without justification. It is realizing drama comes less from what happens and more from the importance we give to what happens. When that importance drops, what remains is not emptiness. It is space. Space to live with more lightness, even inside sadness. Space to laugh at the absurd, even surrounded by uncertainty. Space to continue, not because it makes sense, but because continuing is what happens. And maybe that's all there is. Not a teaching, not a solution, not a final answer. Just the quiet realization that life goes on regardless of how seriously we take it. And loosening our grip on it is not giving up. It is finally stopping the fight against what was never under our control. If you made it this far, it's because something here touched a nerve. Not in a comfortable way, but in the honest way. This channel exists for people who don't want slogans, quick fixes, or borrowed hope. It exists for those who can sit with discomfort without needing it to turn into a lesson. For those who sense that life is heavier than most people admit, and still choose to look at it directly. Just watching already matters more than you think. Your time is not nothing. Attention is not cheap. Staying until the end, reflecting, returning for the next video. That alone already supports this work in a real way. Sharing the video helps too. Not because it grows numbers, but because it finds the right people. People who feel out of place in shallow optimism. People who need language for things they've felt, but never named. If you want to go a step further, becoming a channel member is a way of saying, "This space matters to me. Keep it alive." Membership isn't about status. It's about belonging to a quieter corner of the internet, where depth is allowed and nothing needs to be rushed. Members help keep this channel independent, free from trends, free from algorithms demanding simplification. You get closer access, deeper content, and the feeling of helping sustain something that doesn't try to please everyone. And if you ever feel moved to use super thanks, know this. It's not payment, it's reciprocity. A silent way of saying, "This helped me stay upright for a moment." But hear this clearly and honestly. If all you ever do is watch, think, and come back, that is already enough. There is no obligation here, no pressure, no debt. This channel doesn't exist because of money. It exists because people are still willing to face reality without disguises. If you're here, you're already part of that. So stay. If it makes sense to you, support. If not, just keep listening. Either way, thank you for being here.